The first time we see Unique, he's outside of Pernessa's mama house. Now he's getting ready to walk across the street, but when a car pulls up with some lights on, he turns around. Now the reason he turns around is because he doesn't want no one to know that he's alive. You see, every time people run into Unique, what's the first question they ask? I thought you was dead. Well, it's not really asking a question, it's more of a statement. I thought you was dead. But he always answers it. I got that a lot. I like that a lot. Like, damn, okay, Unique is out here in all black. But he goes across the street. Now, one thing about Unique that we can say that we don't really see often in the Power universe, Unique is a real father. Think about it. Unique has no obligations to give Pernessa money or his son money. We in the Power universe, so everything I'm saying, don't hold this against me. This is just in the Power universe. Unique has a free getaway from child support, but he's deciding to be a father and step up and put money in the mailbox. The crazy thing about this is we know what grandma was about. Remember, grandma kicked Unique out when he went to jail. And when he came back, Pernessa was staying over there, and the mother didn't want him there. So if grandmother is getting the money, you know she's gonna pocket that. But luckily, we know that Pernessa's been receiving that money. Although he could, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is money you could keep in your pocket, $5,000, $10,000. But he puts the money in there because he loves his baby mama and he wants to make sure his son is good. But he could definitely be getting away with no child support, no nothing, just kicking it, just living life, the American dream, money in your pocket. And what does he do from there? He goes to Phil Russo. Now, when he gets to Phil Russo, they pat him down because obviously Phil Russo was the guy. Sal was up under him. Now, remember, we thought Sal was a big dog. Sal was like a capo. Phil Russo was in charge of the family. So it's the Russo family, but they probably call it something else because of his like either great grandfather or whoever came over first and started it. But Phil Russo is here and he's talking to Unique. Now, Unique initially comes in here with that attitude that I'm from the street type shit. Talking about me and Sal didn't see on the but you know, business is business. Phil ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Now, Phil said he keep an ear to the street and he ain't heard nothing about this B.I.B.I. We talking about Rock. He ain't heard nothing about Rock trying to get at Unique. Now, the reason that is key right there, that shows us that Rock wasn't really making no noise on a major level. Rock wasn't on the level of Stefano, wasn't on the level of Phil Russo. She was, I won't even say she was on the level of Sal Bosolini. Sal Bosolini was a made man. He wasn't supposed to be able to get touched. But that's why they had Marvin do that, and no one knows. But Rock ain't up on that level yet. So that's why he ain't heard nothing about Rock. But when Unique comes over and he presents this to him, yeah, Rock took out Sal. Rock took out everything that I got. Maybe me and you can link up because you obviously don't know what's going on in the street. And Phil Russo straightened Unique up quickly. You see how Unique changed? This is a unique story, but we got to call that out. Phil Russo said, "Don't you ever talk to me like that again." I ask the questions. You answer them. You don't ask me no questions. It don't work like that. This is my establishment. Unique took that bass out of his voice. Pitch got soft. You know, hard, but not all the way hard. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I like to work with you. It got a little more respectable. Phil Russo was like, look, if you want to work with me, you got to show me you can put together an organization. I'm not about to just be working with you, not individually. If you get knocked, then what? I need to have you at the top, kind of like a pyramid. I need you at the top, two people up under you running the next thing, one person maybe, and then up under them, two or three people that know what they're doing. I got to have infrastructure. That's why infrastructure is so key because you have people that can run it. Because if you get knocked, you go to jail, then what? We're asked out. Business don't stop because of you. And that's what the conversation was really boiled down to. He told Unique, you need to put together a crew. You need to show me that you were capable and worthy enough for me to give you some muscle so you can start to compete against a Raquel Thomas. So Unique is like, damn. And that's why if you've seen the trailer, we hear him talking about I'm back now. Because he's officially, it's like his reveal. You know, you got the gender reveals for people having babies and shit. This is what's going on with Unique. But only his reveal is probably robbing somebody, knocking somebody, pistol whipping somebody. His reveal is gonna be a little bit different. But we all with that. We all support Kanan. Not Kanan. Jeez Louise. We all support Unique. We support Kanan too. But right now, we on Unique story. So we gotta support Unique. So was that an intentional mess up? Oh, I think it was. We were gonna bring Kanan in here because I've been the one that's telling y'all since season 2 that we need these two to work together, and we're going right to where I want.
I wanted to see Unique in Kanan. I want to see Unique in Kanan. I want Kanan to start getting the game from Unique, especially if he's around. I can see Raquel telling him, "Well, Kanan, if you don't get in here, there's no one better to learn from than Unique." Because Marvin was really kind of messing him up. Marvin was trying his best. It would have probably been better for Marvin to do the training to Kanan after the anger management. Like now would be a good time to teach him the game because Marvin's looking at life a complete different a complete different view of what he used to.
I've been telling y'all since season 2, we need that Unique and Kanan link up. And guess what happens next? Kanan, you need to be on the lookout. Why? Because OC is telling all the information. So we find out about OC through Unique story that OC has really low key been working with Unique. Now, how did Unique get a hold of OC? Remember, in the flashback, that was taking place between episode 8 and 10 of season 3. So that means Early Tyler and Unique were together since episode 8. Famous didn't come up missing to what? Episode 9. So when you look at the storyline and how the timeline is lining out, Famous didn't come up missing till episode 9, episode 10. Unique was back in episode 8 when he called Early Tyler because it's been months. Once Early Tyler gave Unique the information, remember what he said? He said, "Oh yeah, Rock's son." And he said, "Rock's son, he's not moving without Rock." And now OC is telling him that Rock is beefing with who? Quan, who he had an open business relationship with. He was good with. The relationship between Quan and Unique was never severed. It was only bad because Ronnie was alive. So now OC is giving the information to Unique about Kanan, which we can pretty much say that this happened last season because Early Tyler came home and told Unique, which was a flashback, that Kanan got his own spot and he's moving. And guess who Kanan works for? He's getting the product from his mom. So Early Tyler's information was 100% correct. We just don't know how long OC's actually been working with Unique. Remember, Unique was laying low because he wasn't healthy yet. Early Tyler made that joke. "Oh, you wanted my car, but you can't even walk." So Unique has been planning this shit for months. And that means OC may have been working for Unique for months. And Crystal told us that OC was weird. And Kanan doesn't know the game correctly or properly. He's like, "No, OC just not a people person." But OC hangs with Unique because he's fucking scared. And Unique yells at this little nigga and tells him, "Get the fuck out the car right now." So OC is just scared. OC is caught up in the game, not because he wanted to tell on Kanan, but because he was forced by Unique to give up all this information. Oh my goodness, OC, and we never trust you either. We never trusted OC. Never. Not for 1 minute. I said this nigga suspect because we know what happened with Juliana and Unique. Juliana helped pack that van up when Unique robbed the bodega. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Juliana helped Unique load up that van with the money from the bodega. Unique has a way with words. And he told OC, get the fuck up out of here. I'm like, oh shit, this is what's going on here. This is where we're at. And watch how we make this make sense. And watch how this makes sense.
I wanted to see Unique and Kanan. I want Kanan to start getting the game from Unique.
I've been piecing this storyline together for years, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, y'all can say, man, that nigga Mo weird. Yeah, you get look, I go do what I gotta do. I go travel. I enjoy TV shows, I enjoy movies. To me, this shit's all a murder mystery. So I treat all of it like I'm on the case. I'm trying to piece this together. And I've been saying it for 2 years. I've been wanting to see these two link up. And guess what happened? Unique shows up to talk to Quan. What did Quan do this episode? He basically fired Rock. What did Rock do? Go over to Hafiz to go get her new deal. We got rid of Rock. Quan has already talked to Kanan, told Kanan, you went behind your mother's back. Rock don't want to deal with Quan because she wants to be the big dog. Now, if Kanan is working with Quan, Unique just linked back up, and Quan told his security, no, chill. Because the relationship between Quan and Unique is good. So now if Kanan is running product for him, when he comes into the office, one of these episodes, Unique is going to be sitting in that office. I mean, what the fuck is this? Me and Unique had a business deal before Ronnie messed it up. You took out Ronnie. Or Kanan ain't going to say that he took out Ronnie. And since he's stealing from his mother, he going to say that his mother did it to get all the heat off of him. But Kanan and Unique, they're on a collision course to work together. Oh, Lord. I think we done solved it. I think we done solved it, guys. I may be wrong, probably more than likely, but it sounds good. What y'all think about that theory right there? Unique gonna get with Quan. Quan was good with Unique. Ronnie messed up that relationship. And now Kanan went behind Rock's back to talk to Quan, and Quan admits to Rock that he's fucking with Kanan. I talked to your son. So now he got Unique, who's about to build his own crew because he needs to get an establishment to get up under Phil Russo. And then Kanan, who wants his own product to get away from his mom. But guess what? If Unique gets Kanan up under him with that infrastructure, the organization looks even stronger. Kanan becomes a capo. Unique goes straight to Phil Russo. We got the trailer. I don't like jumping ahead to the next episode, but Phil Russo says, I can't take out Stefano, but we can make him hurt. So now we got Rock, Marvin up under Stefano. Rock, Marvin up under Stefano. Unique up under Phil Russo. Kanan goes up under Quan. Unique goes up under Quan. They on Phil Russo's side. So now we got the whole board divided. Unique, Kanan, they up under Phil Russo. Stefano got Raquel and Marvin. We got a mini war jumping off, but don't nobody know that Kanan is up under Unique. Oh, Lord. Oh Lord, we on to something now. But shh, that's Unique story. That's Unique story. They be trying to count Unique out, but that's Unique story. What you think? What y'all think about that theory right there? Because we do see what? Oh, Unique back with Quan, and Quan is smiling. Rock is out the picture. Kanan has spoke to Quan. Kanan talked to Quan. Quan told Rock she's out because she didn't pay that 20%. Unique came back to talk to Quan. Quan smiling, told his security chill. My relationship with Unique, I thought you was dead. You ain't the first. Unique is back. Kanan's moving up under him. We about to be working out in Jersey with Phil Russo. Yeah, I'm calling him Russo. You know, Russo. Like Russo. Not Russo. Russo. We're gonna roll them S's. Russo. Damn, Quan, Unique, Kanan. That's a crazy combo right there. Quan, Unique, Kanan. I like that. I like that. Alan said, okay, more where's Snaps and Pops falling? Or are they hostile investors? No. So this is what's going on. This is what's going on. We ain't off the clock yet. So this is what's going on. As far as what Alan is asking, remember, Pops and Snaps, all they are investors. They don't touch the dope. Whatever you do to get their money, their return on investment, the ROI, that's on you. But remember what they told Kanan. Just because you get robbed, don't stop what we make. In order for Kanan to get dope from Quan, he got to have some kind of money. So Snaps and Pops, they don't care where Kanan gets the dope from. They're just going to supply him with the money. So Snaps and Pop, their investment is there. Now, will Unique eventually run into him? Probably, more than likely, because everyone knows about him in the street. But all they are is like you can just think of a private bank. Kanan is getting his loans from Snaps and Pops with their interest. And remember, they asked Kanan, do you have a stash? Now, obviously, we know Kanan does have a stash, but he's trying to finesse this because he's younger. But yeah, Snaps and Pops, they don't have any issues. They know who Stefano is. Stefano knows who they are. So all they're doing is giving Kanan money, and he's getting the dope. So if we give, let's just say, to make it even numbers, we give you $10,000, we want 50%. So that'd be 5,000 back. So no matter how Kanan gets the money, we give you $10,000, you got to bring us back. You know what I'm saying? $5,000. Let's just say that's what it is a month, 50% a month. So every month you got to bring me $5,000. So the 10,000 up front, 2 months you didn't got your investment back. 4 months you didn't double it. You see what I'm saying? All they're doing is giving Kanan the money. If he says he can flip that money, then okay, cool. But even if he fails, he still owes them money. That's the thing about the streets. You know what I mean? It's like if you fail, you still owe me the money. Now, if you're doing it with a bank, they just gonna tear up your credit. But if you're doing it in the dope game, Snaps and Pop can put a hit on you. Let's say you miss one payment, you get that warning. You miss 2 payments, $10,000, they getting you gone. These dudes is murking people for $4,500. These dudes is murking people for $500. So you don't want to be in the dope game messing around. You know what I mean? But Snaps and Pops, obviously they're in the game too, but they're not risking themselves. They're putting that money out there. If Kanan is deleted, Kanan is deleted. We took a loss, but there's always going to be another Kanan. Is there always going to be a Snaps and Pop? Yeah, definitely. There's always going to be someone that's going to be investing into the hood, but it's more than likely that the dope dealer gets caught. You know what I mean? Because Snaps and Pops, unless they got wiretaps, there's nothing that's going to come back to them because they don't hold the dope and they don't have large quantity of money at one time. When Kanan comes over here to do a meeting and talk to him, he doesn't pick the money up from them. He goes around the back. He goes to another building. It's just dropped off. You never keep the dope and the money in the same spot because it's going to be a conspiracy to distribute. It's all kinds of shit like that. Snaps and Pop, he already went to jail for robbery. So for him, he's not getting involved in none of this BS. He'll negotiate within the bar that he's in, but you're not gonna see him hand no money over. And if he does, this is some shit that's got to happen like today. Exactly. He lied about not having money, and turned out the whole time he got half a ticket. Pops and Snap might have Kanan followed and steal the Foot Locker in the storage room unless Unique and OC does it first. I don't think Kanan's money's gonna get stolen. I think Kanan's doing a good job of hiding that money. But what is he gonna use that money for? Is the question. All right. That gives me an idea, Kendall. Let's say Unique, I always said Unique is the cleanest, grimiest guy I know. But all right, hear me out. Let's say that OC is going back and giving information on what Kanan got going on. What if the same thing that happened with Ronnie happens with Unique and OC? OC is feeding information to Unique. What if Unique kidnaps OC and Kanan hasn't figured out that OC is actually working with Unique, and he makes Kanan give up $200,000 to get OC back? You see what I'm saying? Unique has a lot of options. He could snatch OC up because initially that's what we were thinking. The first time we seen it, we thinking OC then got kidnapped, pistol whipped or something. But he let OC go. And I was already suspicious about that. I was like, damn, he kicked him in the butt, but he didn't do nothing. He didn't even pistol whip him. So OC may have been working with Unique for months. What if Unique kidnaps OC and they send a ransom to Kanan to get OC back? And with Kanan feeling vulnerable because Famous is unalived, he tries to pay that money, but it goes directly to Unique. Come on, guys. I'm trying. I'm just giving other scenarios. I just want the mind to think just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. So we good. We off the clock. We got Lou, and then we pretty much done. But let me know what you guys think about OC. We had 317. So we'll be done in probably like 20 more minutes, 20, 30 more minutes. We good. Little under 4 hours. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to my other channel, The Mo You Know. If you want to talk about real world things, articles, any type of news, you can go over there. We just reached 700 subscribers yesterday on there. We're trying to get that to 1,000, and I appreciate all of you guys. Seriously, I really do. I enjoy doing these live shows with you because I get the academic food, come up with some storylines. Sometimes we get toe up, but tonight we just chilling. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got Lulu left. We had 317, 320. So yeah, like 20 more minutes. We'll get on in and, you know what I'm saying, do what we got to do. And then we'll make things shake. We off the clock though, so you can talk freely.